Francisco, last year you guys had such a unique and specific team identity. How critical do you think it is for this group to be its own entity, a new group, and to come up with a new unique identity?
It's definitely important because it's definitely something that every team has their own identity. It's something that um, it's gonna happen throughout the year. We hope it happens earlier in the year. Sometimes it happens in the middle of the year. Sometimes it happens towards the end of the year. But we are gonna have a different type of identity. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be a bunch of guys that are gonna be held accountable, and a bunch of guys that are gonna go out there and work as hard as they can and play the game the right way. It's part of the culture that we're building here. It's part of how Stearns builds his teams. Same thing how Steve um, runs the organization. So it's going to be a bunch of guys that are held accountable for their own actions. Guys that are going to be prepared, ready to go out, take the field, and guys that are going to be playing the game the right way, day in and day out. It's what is expected, and at the end of the day, it's expected to win. So we'll see what kind of identity we end up forming.
Francisco, last year, the first time we talked to you, you said, that, I think this is a playoff team. I don't think that maybe a lot of people believed it at the time. Or I mean, in the clubhouse, you guys probably believed it, but it sounded like kind of a bold prediction. What would you say about this year's team coming in?
We have a really good team. The the opportunity that we have in front of us is amazing. But I've been in teams that have had high expectations that haven't done much, and teams that haven't had as much expectations and have done a lot. So at the end of the day, um, it's we got to go out there and get it done. I think we have a really good team. I think Stearns, Steve, and the rest of the front office and Mendy did a fantastic job this offseason of bringing the right group of guys. There was a lot of acquisitions that they had to make and fill up the roster, as we all know, and I feel like they did a really good job. So it's going to be a very interesting year, and it's going to be a fun one for sure.
Francisco Alvarez said the other day he thinks this is the best lineup in baseball. Do you agree with that?
I mean, that is his opinion. I do think we have a really, really good lineup, and it'll be silly for people to think that he's not going to go out and say that. It's like it's in his mind, he feels like he's the best, and as a big leaguer, a professional, we all feel the same way. Where no matter who's next to us, we're going to think that we are the best. That's kind of what we were taught from day one. Believe that you're really good, believe that you're the best, and good things will happen. And I feel like we got to go out there and prove ourselves for sure. Just like every other year, nobody cares what you did last year. It's all about what you can do this year. No matter how good you was last year, this year you got to come in and you got to get it done.
Hey, Francisco, did playing as deep as you did into the postseason, extending the season by a few weeks, do anything to change your preparation for the next season? Do you alter anything about your routine because you go deeper in the playoffs?
No, not for me. I actually started a little earlier than I did in previous year, and the reason why is because I felt like I finished in a good spot, and I didn't want to lose the momentum that I had. And the older you get, you take more time off, and it gets tougher to get back into the rhythm. So instead of just taking a bigger time off, and it was nothing crazy. It wasn't like I was going all out, but just twice a week, just doing something to continue to move. You jog, hit, ground balls, throw, lift. Little things that were gonna add up by the time I actually took everything serious.
And are you still of the mind that you want to go out and play 162, or are you somehow amenable to pulling back a little bit to stay fresh as the season evolves?
No, my goal is to be available as many times as I can to post up day in and day out, and it's if I feel good, I'm going to play. It's I take a lot of pride in posting up and just being available for the team, for the guys, and it's I've always said it that 162 is not something that I sit at my house and like I want to play 162. But if it does happen, it happens. I'm ready. I prepare myself for those things, and it's not just 162; it's also the playoffs. Because in the last month, it don't matter if you play 150 or if you play 160. We all feel the same. Everybody feels the same. August hits the same for everybody. It's just who can who can grind through those months is usually the one that ends up on top.
And have you, and maybe it's being able to play as often as you do sends a message without even having to say anything, but how have you evolved as a leader in the going on 5 years now that you've been here?
Well, I'm older, so I'm more mature. That's one thing, and I'm also I've always been good at just observing, but I feel like I got a little bit better and just taking, looking around and making sure everything it's in the right place, and I've also understood that uh, my job is really important. Playing shortstop for the New York Mets is really important. If I do that, a lot of other things are going to take care of itself. Like um, I have tried to hug a lot of things and try to help in a lot of different areas, and I know that that's not the right way of doing things. You hug as much as you can, and and then once you feel like that's in a good place, then you go to the next. Um, so for me, I feel like um, it's something that with maturity and being around this every single day for the past 4 years, going to 5 seasons now. It's is it 5 seasons or 4 seasons? Yeah, fifth season. Yeah, it just feels like um, I'm more at ease, in a way, and, and it's just um, it's I've definitely grown for sure.
Speaking of hugs, I'm sorry, just one quick one here. But speaking of hugs, what did it mean to you after the last out against the Phillies to clinch the division series? Obviously, um, Diaz is telling everybody, "Be cool. I don't want any kind of incident like what happened before." But then they all rushed out to you, and the mob was around you, obviously in deference to certainly the home run. But what did it mean to you to have the guys come out right to shortstop to celebrate after that last out?
Um, didn't really think about that, but um, once I felt like everybody was gathering around me and Iggy, um, it's it's just special because we all celebrated. It wasn't about me. It's the job as a team that we have done. It's just special just to celebrate. I think it's the closest position after everybody runs into the mound, and then if the guy on the mound didn't want it, then you run to the next side. So I think that's probably what happens. But it's just cool to celebrate. I wasn't really thinking about
Last year, Carlos Mendoza's first year, you got to spring training. You talked a lot about conversations and building relationships. After the 162 and the playoffs, what have you learned about Carlos Mendoza?
He's consistent with his message. He's consistent with his personality. He's as professional as they come, and he was the right man for the job.
You were second in the MVP balloting last year. How humbling was that?
It's special, yeah. It is very humbling. It's something that you put in the work day in and day out, and your hope is to be in the World Series and win it, and um, just to be considered for something like that. It's definitely special and something I don't take for granted. So yeah, I it was a cool experience.
Juan Soto is coming. What are your thoughts on playing with him?
I'm excited. I'm excited. I feel like I have a lot of things to learn from him, and so does he. He has a lot of things to learn, not just from me, from a lot of the guys here. So um, and I've heard amazing things from the people that surround him and people that play with him or against him that have been close to him, and I'm looking forward to it. I think he's a fantastic man, and he's a great player. And not only the numbers on the field show it, but the contract shows it too. So um, I think he's gonna do very well for us.
What was your reaction to Pete signing back, and were you surprised with how his market unfolded?
I was happy. I was very happy that he was gonna come to what he considers home. So uh, was I surprised? I mean, yeah, in free agency, anything can happen as we've seen in the previous years. It wasn't really part of the circle, so I didn't know what was happening. Um, I'm just happy he's with us, and I'm happy that he he got um, he got good money, you know.
With the addition of Juan Soto and bringing back Pete and everybody else in the lineup, how potent can this lineup be? I know you talked about being one of the best in the league. You have to feel that way, but how potent can it be, and how much confidence does it give you?
I have a lot of confidence in it. I feel like it's um, when Stearns and Steve and Mendy they put a team together. Um, they try to have a complete lineup, and it's not just me. It's not just Soto or Pete. It's you got Nemo, you got Vientos, you have Alvi, you have Tyrone, Siri. You know, you have a Winker. You have a lot of guys. Marte, you is the depthy lineup. You know, and I'm sure there's going to be other guys that are going to be part of it. And to win the championship and accomplish what we want to accomplish, we're going to need every single guy that's probably um, in the rosters, and probably some other guys are not in the roster. So this is going to be it's a big task that we have, and I'm looking forward to it.
What does it say about this organization that you guys got to within 2 wins of getting to the World Series, but yet didn't stand pat, went out and improved the roster even more?
He says that we want more, and he also says that we have a lot of free agents. And Stearns is very good. He's very smart, very methodical. So is Steve, and so is Mendy. So they have their process. They have the way they go about it. And last year, I felt like they did a really good job in the offseason of putting a team together. And I'm right there this year again. You know, to me, they're Stearns and his group is 2 for 2 so far. So they're doing good. Now we just got to go and get it done ourselves. You know, it don't matter how good the team looks on paper. We have to get it done. You know, I have to go out there and repeat or do better than I did last year. And same thing with Soto, same thing with Pete, same thing with Nemo, same thing with Vientos, Alvi, Siri, Tyrone, Marte, Winker, everybody. And the pitching staff got to step up too. And then we got to catch the ball. And we got to run the bases too. So, yeah, it's a lot to get done. So we just got to stay the course, and we'll see what happens.
There's a lot of young, talented infielders in camp. What do you hope they kind of take from this experience, and how do you kind of view your mentorship role with a lot of those guys?
There's one thing I could tell them to do is work. Just work. Put your head down and work. Watch the guys around you. It's not just me. There's a lot of players that have done it. McNeil, it's somebody I've done it. He's got a batting title. Look at him. Look at a guy that came up last year and he won a starting job, Vientos. And then you have Pete. So just watch, listen, and work. Just work, and don't back down from any challenges. I don't care if they're 18 or they're 25 or Teddy. They're all in here for a reason. So compete and let's have some fun.
Following up on Howie's question earlier about 162 versus maybe pulling back a tad, Mendoza mentioned that he wants to talk to you about it, but he has ideas on what sounded like maybe an actual day off mixed in here and there, which of course was not the case really last year until the back thing popped up. Is that something you're open to if that is something he feels strongly about?
MLB does a fantastic job with putting days off in the calendar. We'll see.
I don't think I've ever heard a player say that.
That was a first.
Do you feel the physical toll of the season more now than you did 5, 6, 7 years ago?
I don't really remember 5 years ago. Yeah, that's what everybody keeps on telling me. Oh, I can't wait till you're 30. I can't wait till you're 35. Well, I'm 31 now. You know, it's you prepare, you work as hard as you can, and you try to find a way to recover, and you try to find a way to go out there and get it done. You know, and 10. If you think I'm old, I still got 7 more seasons.
I definitely didn't say that. We're about the same age, so I hope you're not old yet.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, we take care of our body a little bit different.
Francisco, you don't have the official title of captain for this team. This team has had captains in the past, and I think a number of us have referred to in that role. Do you see that as your role on this team in addition to performance-wise? Do you feel a captain's attitude with this group?
I do feel like I'm one of the leaders of the team. But there's a lot of leaders in there, you know. The captain thing is something that is not up for me to decide. If it does happen, it'll be fantastic. It will be an honor. It will be a privilege. Something I will never take for granted. Something that will put me next to the greats of this organization for forever, and it'll be very humbling. It's my job is not gonna change. Just because I'm the captain doesn't mean I'm gonna do more. I'm still gonna go out there and hold guys accountable. I'm gonna expect a lot out of myself too. You know, I expect guys to, if they see me doing something that's not right, to come up to me and tell me as well, and to continue to lead, continue to play the game the right way, show up, post up, do whatever we gotta do to win. You know, when I first came to this organization and that Steve and Alex brought me out here, my part of my job description was to help this organization become one of the best ones out there, and I have that in the very front of my mind. That's just to make this organization one of the best ones out there. You got to win. That's number one. But also you got to do things the right way. You got to be accountable, and you have to respect your peers. You have to respect the game, and you just got to go out there day in and day out and post up. You know, and even if no winning doesn't happen, if I'm hurt, you still got to show up and do the things the right way and support my teammates. And to win is not a one-man job. So if the captain thing is presented to me, it'll be a very humbling experience. But that's not up to me. That's something that front office gets to decide, and I don't know who else gets to decide on that. So if you guys make the decision, just let me know.
In a storybook season like last year, you started off a little slow, and then the way clutch moment after clutch moment down the stretch. Is there one particular moment that stands out to you, and have you kind of gone back and watched those moments?
One specific moment that stands out to me, I would say celebrating with the boys. There was a lot of moments throughout the year. I mean, Sevy's complete game was fantastic. How he came out and said, and just said, no, I'm not coming out. I want to finish this. Randy told him finish it. Sean, how he stepped up, how Quintana stepped up, how Iglesias, how Marte having a fantastic playoff run, Viento stepping up, just it was just Diaz. It's just a lot,
I mean, for you personally, like, you have to realize what you did.
I think the breaking the no hitter in Toronto, that was kind of cool. Just because I don't want to get no hit. And I told Iglesias coming up to that at bat, I said I'm giving everything I got, no matter what. So out of this at bat, something's gonna happen. Hopefully, he's on our side. So that was good. And Atlanta home run was cool. Philly home run, that's the answer everybody's looking for. So yes, that was fantastic. Those were great. Dodgers home runs were great. Diving plays were fantastic. Yeah, it's I don't take any more for granted. So it's a highlight. I do the same thing everybody does. I go to YouTube and watch it.
With a cursory glance at the roster, what do you think is this team's strength coming into the season?
We have an opportunity to play the game the right way. There's a lot of guys here that have the ability to do the little things right day in and day out, and that's something that I'm looking forward to. And I think it's something that can take us very far if we move runners when we need to move runners, if we get on base when we got to get on base, if we catch the ball, we got to catch the ball, go first to third, second to home, advance more than 90 feet. I think we could be a very powerful team. And same thing with our pitching staff. Our pitching staff is pretty good.
And everything's all good with your back?
Yeah, so far so good. Thank God. I can carry my two daughters and I can go out and play and do everything. So yeah, I feel fantastic. I got good people around me that help me continue to make it better. But last year in the playoffs, I was great. The trainers here did a fantastic job.
During your time here, the organization's gone through some ups and downs. Given that path, how gratifying was it to have that connection with the fan base that you guys developed as a team last season?
I mean, that's one of the reasons we played this game. We play it for the fans. We are in the entertainment business, and to be able to connect with the fans the way we did last year was fantastic. The vibes in the city were different. Not just at Citi Field, but walking around to go get coffee. It's a little different, and I like that. Let's try to keep it like that. Everybody keeps on telling me New York is a fantastic play when you win, so I'm trying to get there. Got a little taste of it.
Yeah, how do you kickstart those vibes again, fresh this season?
Winning, not going all up 5. That'll be a great start to hopefully we can go 5-0 or at least 2-3 or 3-2. No 5, but if it does happen, you just put yourself in a bigger hole and we just gotta get out of it.